What is up guys, it's Food and Nat coming at you with a brand new video. Today we're going to be making arepas. Arepas are like a little corn cake made from cornmeal. This is like from white corn, mainly eaten in countries like Venezuela, Colombia, and like stuffed with different stuffings. Today we're going to be doing like a tuna mixed with like fresh vegetables. Not very traditional, but still really nice. So this recipe is going to show you how to like just make the filling with the vegetables and the tuna, and then how to mix and form and then cook the arepas. So really simple video, not much cooking in terms of all the ingredients are sort of ready to eat, obviously except the cornmeal that needs to be cooked, but pretty simple process, and I'll show you how that's done. So I'll just basically go through everything you need: frying pan, like a cup, knife, chopping board, spoon, and then here we have like a big pinch of salt, same for black pepper, and half a teaspoon of brown sugar. These are not really the salt, the sugar and the pepper is not really traditional. We're going to be adding it to the cornmeal. I like to add the sugar just because it gives like a more of a browner color. But not traditional, but I still like it, and the pepper as well I really like. Tuna, this is tuna just like from a can, with vegetable oil. You can use like the one in water as well, but I prefer vegetable oil. There's just more flavor in the fat. Bit of cucumber, we're not going to be using all of that. Coriander, like a handful of coriander, or cilantro. Sweet corn, maybe 2 tablespoons. Small clove of garlic. I'm just adding this because I need to use it. It's in the fridge. Just a tiny piece of white onion. A small piece of red onion. We're not going to be using all of that. Maybe, I don't know, a quarter. Lime juice, maybe half a lime, and half a tomato as well. And then this is probably like 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Here we have the cornmeal. It's actually a mix of 2 different brands, but just try and find one like close to you. They're all kind of quite similar, but they vary in their water absorbency. So some brands, like, you have to use a lot of water to get the desired consistency. Other brands you have to use a lot less. So I'm gonna eyeball basically how much water I use, but I've probably filled like this cup completely with the flour and put it in here. So in grams, I don't know how much that is, or in cups, so just kind of eyeball it, guys, sorry. Okay guys, so I've got a Tupperware container. I'm just gonna basically put everything in here to mix the filling. Just gonna put it off over to the side. So may as well just start with the smallest thing, the onion. And I've already kind of put vertical cuts in it, so just gonna quickly chop it up. Now it's best if everything's kind of chopped pretty finely or small, because we're going to be mixing it all together and trying to fit it inside the arepa. So yeah, smaller the better. Maybe use half this amount of cucumber. Put that back, and then kind of roughly sized shape as the onion. Okay, like that. Can go in. Now these ingredients are not really traditional in arepa fillings, but they're nice. And the vegetables kind of bulk out the tuna. If you're trying to be like health conscious or just trying to eat less meat or whatever, it's a really good idea. With the coriander, just a chopped like this is sufficient. You don't want a super like tight cut on the coriander because you want to be able to see it, you want to be able to taste it. Mix. So that can go in the box as well. The tomato, I'm just going to halve this. I think half is enough. Might change my mind later. You can just take out the middle bit, chuck this in the bin. And like everything, we're just going to cube the tomato. So with the red onion, I actually normally use white onion, but like you saw, I already used a small bit of white onion. And I like the color contrast, So I think I'm going to use a tiny bit more red onion, just to add some color and a different flavor. And I think red onion raw is a bit nicer than white onion raw. That's just my opinion. My opinion for the onion. So, like with everything before, just mince that, cube that, don't mince it, sorry. And in the box. So next we've got the garlic. The garlic, just kind of chop it, squash it, flick it.
Only bop it. You got it, bop it.
Bop it. This I'm gonna chop really fine, mince it almost. And it's a small piece of garlic because, I don't know, like raw garlic, the flavor tends to be quite strong. So that's the finished consistency we're looking for the garlic. So it goes in the box. I'm going to take my lime, and I've already kind of cut off a piece before for another recipe or whatever. I'm just going to take half of it now. I'm going to use half of it in our mixture, and then I'll see what the flavor's like, if it needs more acidity. I'm going to put all of our stuff that we've put in so far. Now I'm gonna add the sweet corn. That's like 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna scoop in the mayo. It's like, 2 tablespoons-ish. I'm gonna squeeze the lime juice. Try to get it in the box, not all over yourself. I'm gonna add the tuna. And with the tuna, I'm adding some of the oil as well, just because it carries like a lot of the flavor. Now I'm gonna add like just a sprinkle of black pepper, not too much, not going crazy. And a generous pinch of salt, just to bring out the flavors from all the vegetables there. And now I'm gonna mix this up. And what I might have to do is add more mayonnaise, we'll see. So as you're stirring it, you're trying to combine all the flavors together. Getting everything incorporated. And I think I will add a tiny bit more mayo. Maybe 1 tablespoon more. And I'm gonna mix that through. Yeah, I like that. That's the right consistency and color for me. And the reason we're kind of doing this first the reason we're doing this first is to let the kind of flavors mingle, get to know each other, let the salt kind of extract some of the water, let the acid kind of neutralize some of the harsher tones of the onion, stuff like that. So I'm just going to give it a taste. Quality control. For me, it just needs a touch bit more salt, just the tiniest little pinch. And that's good, we can leave that to sit until we're ready to put it in our arepas. Okay guys, so this part's going to be in kind of different stages, and it's the making of the actual arepas. So basically, yeah, I said it was like this much of cornmeal. How much is this much? I don't know. How long is a piece of string? I'm gonna try and figure out what the volume of that cup is, and then I can maybe like get the grams from that. I don't know, but I would just go by like, I don't know, use a cup, use 2 cups, and then just use the water like slowly. So what I'm gonna do now is add the sugar, the salt, and the black pepper. So the salt is like maybe half a teaspoon, a big pinch. The sugar is half a teaspoon, and the black pepper probably 1/3 of a teaspoon. So now I've got the same volume of water, but I'm only going to add like a tiny bit by bit. Before I do that, I'm just going to kind of mix everything around with my finger, mix the sugar in, the pepper, the salt. And you can use a mixing bowl, but I'm just using a saucepan. So create a little well, and then you're just going to kind of add a tiny bit of water and mix it in. So this is cornmeal, like masa, like not from sweet corn, but like the white, more carby corn, like that you make tortillas from, quesadillas, all that kind of stuff. So basically it's very absorbent, but you don't want to add too much water and then you've kind of fucked it up. So you want to slowly add the water. It almost looks like short crust pastry, like you've added butter to it or something, but we haven't added any butter. like I said in the intro, some brands are a lot more absorbent than other brands, and requires like less water. Some brands require more water, so this is why I'm not giving you like a full or specific number or measurement, just because the brand that you have access to might be different to what I'm telling you, so you kind of have to eyeball it and play it by ear. But here you can kind of see that the dough is starting to take shape. You can kind of press it in, and obviously guys, it goes without saying, but you need to have clean hands before you do this. Very hands on. I'm going to add a tiny bit more water to bind everything, bring everything together. You might be able to hear it as well. Now this dough is not really like flour dough, like traditional wheat flour dough. Like there's not loads of gluten in it, and you don't really have to worry about over, beating it or over stretching it. I think I'm quite happy with this. So this is the kind of consistency that you want to aim for. So you can kind of roll it into a ball, but if you press, like, it can still kind of break easily. You don't want it much drier than this or much wetter than this. But this is okay to work with. And we're going to form some arepas. So on a lovely blue plate, we're going to add a tiny bit of oil, and this is to stop the arepas from sticking, and you just want to kind of spread it over the plate like so. And get your hands oily, and then take the ball that you have. This is probably enough for like 3 decent sized arepas. So I'm gonna split this into 3. And now take some oil, and you kind of wanna squeeze the arepa. You want to squeeze it and into shape, into like a disc. Between your hands. Like so. So it's like that, and then maybe that thick. And you can kind of press down on it, leave some indentations, some bumps. That way it's going to kind of fry nicely. And you can put that on the plate. And you can do the same with the other 2. Guys, there are 3 arepas. They're quite small. So obviously if you want more, or you want to make some bigger arepas, you can use a lot more cornmeal. I just use like 1 of those cups, but you could probably use 1.5 or 2 to get maybe 4 or 6. So I've just got a frying pan on medium heat with some oil, and we're going to add the arepas to the frying pan for maybe 5 minutes either side, and then we're going to kind of bake them for maybe another 5 minutes just to cook the corn in the middle. Okay, So guys, here we have our frying pan on like medium heat. We've got quite a bit of oil in the pan, but you can use a lot less, but it's up to you. And we're just going to put 1, 2, 3. So you can see like some cracks in them, but it's not really a big deal. They're still going to hold their shape at the end. And what you can do is kind of press down on them in the center, just to make sure the center is getting cooked, because they're almost like bread. The center will rise and you'll lose contact with the bottom of the pan, so it's important to press them down so it's an even cook, not just these like outsides are cooked. Something a little bit like this after frying on both sides. Now I'm just going to put them like in the oven or a mini oven, just for 5 minutes to cook them from the inside as well. Just like gas mode 5, gas mode 4, or like 180, 200, nothing too hot. So guys, our arepas have come out of the oven, and so on a separate plate with some kitchen paper, or you just kind of want to put the arepa just to dry off any excess oil. And you kind of just want to leave them to cool down as well, because they've been in the oven, so they're really hot. And when we cut into them, they're going to release a lot of steam, so you don't want to burn yourself or scald yourself. So it's best just to let them cool down for a bit. You can kind of flip them, just to try and drain any excess oil off. Okay guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. The arepas have had time to cool down. So now I'm just going to take a separate piece of kitchen or paper towel and kind of hold this like this, because it's still quite hot. You want to take a serrated knife. It has to be serrated. If it's a normal knife, it's not going to work. And you kind of just want to cut slowly. Take your time. You don't want to like break open the arepa, and you want to kind of cut half of it and then kind of cut down into the arepa, into the pocket. So then when you press on the side, it should open up like that. Yum, 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 yum. Like that. Why have you summoned me? Forbidden one. Blah, blah, blah. So this is your pocket that you're going to put your filling in. Okay, so we're going to do that with the other two. So guys, I got my arepas and I got my filling just out of the fridge. So I'm going to take this. So this is your pocket. Now, very controversial. Some people, they like scrape out some of the filling, some of the corn, so you can add more filling. I just like to eat it like this. I don't like to waste any. So we're going to get some of our filling, and we're just going to kind of squash it in like that. Now this filling is like way more than, like I could probably fit like 6 arepas with the amount of filling I have here, but I'm only going to have 3 today, and I've got some like tortilla chips that I can eat with my arepas. And the last one. See, it's still really hot. Like this one's like steaming up still. So guys, now to try one. So here it is, the arepa, las arepas, arepas con atún en español. So yeah, this is a food really common in Venezuela, but I can tell you now this is not traditional filling, but still it's really nice and super simple as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna try this. Wow, that is so nice. That is super fresh, really zingy, creamy from the mayo, from the tuna oil. Bright, fragrant, zesty, zingy, fresh, crunchy, like the crunch from the tomato, the cucumber, the red onion, and obviously the arepa itself. That kind of crispy, crusty exterior, and the soft kind of cornbread texture in the middle. Wow, that is really good. And like I said, I made a bit more filling than arepas, so I have some tortilla chips here just to kind of eat the filling with as well. That is really nice. All the elements play off each other really well. Just the right amount of acidity, of salt. Really, really nice, that filling. And the garlic definitely doesn't stand out, which is really nice. But if it was missing, you would notice. So, yeah guys, that's the arepas. Please, look at this, it's like cornception. Corn inside of corn. Please give this one a try guys, and let me know in the comments what you think. Really, really nice, really simple, and a lovely dish from Venezuela. I'm glad that they've shared it with the world. Alright guys, peace.